This year, 44 AD, the kingdom of Mauritania is officially annexed by the Roman Empire. Herod Agrippa meets an untimely end, and the kingdom of Goguryeo loses their longtime king. Welcome to the Yearly Histories, where we will highlight the major events that take place in the Common Era, year by year. Last year, we saw the Roman invasion and annexation of Britannia. King Vardanes of the Parthian Empire coming out on top in the conflict against his brother Gotarzes, and the rebellion of the Trung sisters in Southeast Asia being defeated by the general Ma Yuan. Last year, Emperor Claudius entered the city of Camulodunum in triumph after the Roman army led by Aulus Plautius was able to conquer the southeastern part of Britannia and annex it as a new imperial province. Since then, Claudius has made the long journey back to Rome to celebrate his first major victory as a victorious imperator. However, the Senate does not grant him the right to celebrate a triumph in full, but instead honors him with the construction of a new triumphal arch and grants him the title of Britannicus. He does not accept the title himself, but passes it on to his only son with Valeria Messalina, the now 3-year-old Tiberius Claudius Germanicus. We saw in 40 AD how the tyrannical and unpredictable Emperor Caligula invited the client king of Mauritania, Ptolemy, to Rome, only to have him killed. He subsequently announced that Mauritania was to be incorporated into the Roman Empire, but an immediate rebellion in the kingdom saw those plans never come to fruition. This year, the Roman army is finally able to quell the rebellion after 4 years of campaigning under Roman generals such as Gnaeus Hosidius Geta and Gaius Suetonius Paulinus. Mauritania is immediately annexed into the empire, which has seen significant growth already under the thumb of Emperor Claudius. During Herod Agrippa's tenure as king of Judea, he has made it a priority to target Christians residing in his lands, with the goal of appeasing the influential Orthodox Jewish leaders in the community. In approximately 42 or 43 AD, he decided to make an example out of James, who was a disciple of Jesus and also known as the son of Zebedee. Agrippa had him arrested for allegedly instigating sedition by identifying Jesus as the Messiah. Almost immediately, his execution was ordered, and James died by beheading. Another prominent Christian who was targeted had better fortune in his case. Peter was arrested during the Jewish festival of Passover. Immediately, he was placed under heavy guard with the intention of bringing him to public trial after the festivities. However, on the night before his trial, an angel was said to have appeared in his cell, causing his chains to fall off and leading him past the guards to freedom. Initially believing it to be a vision, Peter soon realized his miraculous escape was real. Other sources have Herod Agrippa releasing him on the condition that Peter leaves Jerusalem, which he did end up doing. With James, the son of Zebedee, dead, and Peter no longer in Jerusalem, the unquestionable leader of the Christian community in the Holy City is now James the Just, the brother of Jesus. According to Christian sources, those events are said to have been the cause for what takes place in this year. Herod Agrippa is looking to curry favor with his suzerain, Emperor Claudius. He hosts lavish victory games in honor of Claudius's conquests in Britannia, with the goal of dispelling rumors that he is planning a rebellion against Rome. Nevertheless, he does not witness the results of his gesture come to fruition. In the midst of the victory games, Herod Agrippa dies suddenly after 3 years as the king of Judea. In the aftermath of his death, Judea is once again annexed into the Roman Empire after 3 short years of bearing client kingdom status. This time around, Emperor Claudius appoints Cuspius Fadus as the first procurator of Judea, marking the re-establishment of direct Roman governance. The imposition of Roman authority is met with immediate resistance, with riots breaking out between Greeks and Jews in Perea and a stark increase of banditry in Judea. China is in the midst of recovering from its campaign to defeat the rebellious Lac Viet tribes in the south, which broke out in 40 AD and ended in 43 AD. That fact is not going to put a stop to the Xiongnu's raids into Han territory that have been ongoing and severely damaging. In fact, they seem to have been emboldened. This year, the long-reigning Chan Yu, or leader of the Xiongnu, Huder Shidaogao, launches significant raids into Han territory, reaching as far as the Tian Shui, Youfufang, and Shandong commanderies. In past years, Emperor Guangwu has tried his hand at building earthworks to block the traditional Xiongnu invasion routes, but to no avail. Moving briefly to the Korean peninsula, where control over Nakrong changes hands once again. Originally, the Han dynasty acted as the suzerain over Nakrong, but lost their hold over the land in 32 AD. The kingdom of Goguryeo under King Daimyo sacked Nakrong and imposed its authority over the territory in 37 AD. This year, Emperor Guangwu sends in a Han army to reclaim their foreign vassal status. That is not the only bad piece of news for Goguryeo this year, as their formidable and longtime king Daimyo dies after 26 years on the throne. He is not succeeded by his son, Moban, who has decided to be too young to rule. Instead, he is replaced by his youngest brother, Minjung, as the new king of Goguryeo. Now it's time for In Memoriam, where we look back on the lives of prominent figures who died in the year. Herod Agrippa was born in 11 BC and was the grandson of Herod the Great. He spent part of his youth in Rome, where he developed connections with influential figures, including Emperor Caligula. In 37 AD, he was appointed ruler over several territories by Caligula, and in 41 AD, Emperor Claudius granted him the title of King of Judea, uniting the Jewish lands under his rule. Agrippa was known for his efforts to strengthen Jewish relations and his harsh persecution of early Christians, including the execution of James and the imprisonment of Peter. He died in 44 AD, likely from a sudden illness, marking the end of his reign. James, also known as James the son of Zebedee, was one of the 12 disciples of Jesus and the brother of John, another disciple. He was part of Jesus' inner circle, witnessing key events such as the Transfiguration and the agony in the Garden of Gethsemane. After Jesus' death, James became a prominent figure in the early Christian church, spreading the gospel in Judea and supposedly Hispania. He was executed by beheading around this time by King Herod Agrippa, making him the first apostle to be martyred. Daimyo became the king of Goguryeo in 18 AD after succeeding his father Yuri to the throne. During his reign, he undertook an aggressive policy of expansion for the small kingdom, conquering minor states in the Korean peninsula such as Dongbuyo, Gaima, and Guda. He was also able to cause significant trouble for the Han Chinese by raiding their territory, ejecting their influence from Nakrong, and occupying the territory for some time up until his death. We will leave this year, 44 AD, with the annexation of Mauritania into the Roman Empire, Herod Agrippa dying suddenly while attempting to curry favor with Emperor Claudius, and the death of King Daimyo of Goguryeo. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to be notified when the next iteration of the yearly histories will be released. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next year in 45 AD to continue the fascinating stories of the world of antiquity and cover its major events.